guys, I'm glad you're all here. Thank you very much for joining me. Here's the latest, what's going on with the recovery of that spy balloon. This is marinetraffic.com, and it shows an unspecified government vessel off the coast of Myrtle Beach. What else we got here? It says yellowfin, I don't know. Law enforcement. Another vessel off Myrtle Beach. According to General Van Herrick, the debris field from the downed balloon measures approximately 1,500 square meters, situated in water roughly 50 foot deep. The balloon measured up to 200 feet tall, outfitted with sensors and equipment, he said. The payload itself would categorize as a jet airline type of size. That's pretty big. Maybe a regional jet. And the weight in excess of a couple thousand pounds. General Van Herrick noted that would be enough to carry an EMP, I would say. He also warned against the public collecting any debris that may wash onto the coast. I would remind you, due to ocean currents, it's possible that there may be some debris that does flow to shore, Van Herrick said. And so, what we would ask of the public is to avoid contact. Contact law enforcement immediately and they will take care of any of debris that's found. Debris collection started on Monday after rough sea conditions prevented the Navy from launching recovery efforts on Sunday. The U.S. supposedly first detected the high-altitude surveillance balloon on January 28th. The dock landing ship Carter Hall is spearheading the Navy's recovery effort and collecting debris near where the balloon collapsed, approximately 6 miles off the coast of South Carolina. The oceanographic survey ship Pathfinder is also mapping the ocean floor using sonar in the search. Additional sailors from the Explosive Ordnance Disposal Group 2, equipped with mobile diving and salvage teams, have utilized at least one unmanned underwater vehicle. U.S. officials also said at least 3 times during the Trump administration and at least one other time during Biden's tenure as president, balloons have crossed into American airspace. In those instances, the United States determined that the balloons belonged to China only after they had left U.S. airspace. He also said that, "I will tell you that we did not detect those threats. And that's a domain awareness gap that we need to figure out." Yeah, they need to fix it. He also said that it was after the fact that his command about the balloons was notified. "It flew over all our military and nuclear silo bases. For 7 days it was crossing the country, and at any time, if it was equipped with an EMP, it could have been detonated." What the media now is calling a military attack on Saturday drew an immediate rebuke from China, which warned of necessary responses and insisted the unmanned civilian airship was a research balloon and that it strayed into the United States airspace completely by accident. The F-22 fighter jet came from Langley Air Force Base in Virginia, and it took the shot at 2:39 p.m. local time using a single AIM-9X supersonic heat-seeking air-to-air missile. There was many places where they could have shot it down, in Montana or up in Alaska. U.S. President Joe Biden told reporters that he had issued an order on Wednesday to take down the balloon, but the Pentagon had recommended waiting until it could be done over open water to safeguard civilians from debris crashing to Earth. I think the debris recovery would have been a lot easier if it was in a remote location here in the United States instead of out in the ocean, where pieces could be floating up to shore. Now, Reuters said that a U.S. military official told them that the debris field was spread out over 11 kilometers or 7 miles of ocean, and that multiple military vessels were on site. Well, I just showed you two. Supposedly, the balloon first entered U.S. airspace in Alaska on January 28th, before moving into Canadian airspace on Monday, January 30th. Then re-entered U.S. airspace over northern Idaho on January 31st. China criticized the United States for overreacting. Myself, I think they allowed this to continue to get as much media attention as they possibly could, just so that the general, just to push popular opinions of U.S. citizens closer to liking or approving a second war, a second front with China. Defense officials on Saturday also appeared to downplay the balloon's effect on U.S. national security. Our assessment, and we're going to learn more as we pick up the debris, was that it was not likely to provide significant additive value over and above other Chinese intel capability, such as satellites in low Earth orbit. Well, what it did tell them is that they can fly a balloon across the United States carrying thousands of pounds of payload and be undetected. And once it was detected, to allow it to continue going over strategic military bases. If it had an EMP and it went off over a small area where everything with a chip would have been fried, can you imagine if it was our missile defense systems? So what are your thoughts? Do you think the Chinese were testing our defenses and seeing what our reaction was? Yeah, I do. Put your comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for joining our community here. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. God bless you. Bye.